Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us for Stories Making Headlines. My name is Hassan Engelbrecht. Cabinet has passed a number of resolutions that will lead to significant changes in the education sector. Announcing cabinet decisions on the outcome of the National Conference on Education held 2 months ago, Education Minister Dr. Abraham Yambo said cabinet has agreed with all the recommendations from the conference. Now, these include allocation of more resources to the sector, strict accountability and changing of legislation pertaining to education, as well as adherence to the Namibian Constitution in terms of free primary education. Cabinet directed that implementation strategies and modalities be first carefully designed, the recommendations be divided, and that specific activities be developed for the short, medium and long terms. Namdeb Diamond Corporation has lifted the lockout instituted against workers who have been on strike for the past 15 days. The lifting of the lockout is with immediate effect, and all employees within the bargaining unit can return to work within the next 3 days. Namdeb brand manager Pauline Thomas says this is in line with the resolve to bring the strike to an end. So far, the company has lost about 50 million in production, of which 40 million is directly lost by government. The process of instituting legal action against the Mine Workers Union and striking workers has also commenced. The manager of the National Population and Household Census says the process is going well countrywide, with only a few hiccups reported so far. Lina Kafidi says all enumerators and supervisors have been deployed to their respective areas and have already started with the enumeration process. She, however, singles out transport as one of the major problems most teams are faced with, but notes that more vehicles have been deployed to the regions to address the problem. On the first day of the enumeration process, the team started counting special population groups, which comprises of those who are traveling, people in police cells, hotels and the homeless. Yesterday, the process moved on to households, hostels, hospitals, military barracks and other general institutions. And in business news, a new black-owned financial services company has entered the Namibian market through a shareholding deal with a local business consortium. The company, called Mvunolala, which means reap more than you sow, officially opened its doors in the capital this morning, with Prime Minister Na Sangula officiating at the event. The company, with a Namibian shareholding of 25%, will be providing a variety of financial services for people at grassroots level. It will offer services on matters such as asset management, investment, consulting, private equity, the administration of retirement and trust funds, as well as the tracing of beneficiaries as an alternative to existing companies. And in news from beyond our borders, at least 20 people have been killed and thousands displaced by flooding in and around the city of Ibadan in southwestern Nigeria. The floods resulting from heavy rains that began on Friday caused a dam to overflow and washed away numerous buildings and bridges. The damage was exacerbated by rubbish and debris clogging drains in the city. Although flooding is common in Nigeria during the rainy season, this year's rains have been particularly heavy. Hundreds of cars were also reported to have been submerged in the floods, along with scores of dwelling and extensive farmland. Those are stories making headlines tonight. Please join us again tomorrow for more news right here on your national broadcaster. Good night.